Hayabusa. Man, YouTube. Zoom to YouTube is kind of slow. There you go. Yay. Sweet. Little pre-show today.
You got your presentation for Rockstars done or thought about or?
Thought about, so I did a presentation with Lisa Duty at her conference in Dallas. And the lead-in to that, I don't know if you've ever seen like a Kyle Ruth presentation or some of those storyteller guys, right? So I kind of took lessons learned from what Kyle does very successfully, by the way, in his talks, and did a story about the making of a telescope and how that actually came about. And at the end of the day, it was the short version, obviously, is the taking of different parts and concepts and stuff and putting together something new, or looking at that and kind of just not thinking advanced wise, like not thinking ahead or not looking at, hey, I'm doing this and how does that fit in the totality of things, right? So my talk's going to be on that, but from a marketing perspective, and how I think we lose a lot of power and branding and the overall marketing, because we get so single-minded in the things that we do. Like, we don't think about how our PPC is connected to their SEO, is connected to our social media, is connected to our videos, connected to our podcasts, and our audio is connected to our CRO, which is connected to our shopping cart, and it's connected to our conversions, and rinse, repeat, and that whole thing. So but the only hard part is just kind of like, how am I going to put that all into something that'd be interesting for SEOs. The good thing is I'm not speaking first this year. I think I've done that twice. So that's good, but I kind of almost think that my talk would be better for people to hear in the beginning, so that when they actually go through the conference and knock those things out, they can, think back to, or think of that in advance. So when they're listening to a speaker, they can, how would this piece fit into my marketing plan? And what if I put this and this together and I can make something even better, that kind of stuff. But where I'm talking is actually kind of also beneficial to that, because I think I'm talking on the third day early, and then everyone else is talking under me is not necessarily, I think there's enough people talking before me that I could actually tie in some of their presentations then, and then there's enough people talking after me that makes sense. It would help out everybody. So I'm just bouncing that around. I know I'm not talking about schema. I'm tired of wasting. I mean, can talk to blue in the face on schema and prove that it works, and prove that doing advanced schema actually helps you, and that it's worthwhile and it's worth the effort. But it's just these lazy ass people that, they're never going to do it. They're always going to depend on plugins
or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine if you don't have the insight or the vision to figure some of that stuff out. Like one of my consulting clients, I gave them a template for their SEO, for their schema, and it was significant. They got 24,000 pages though, and you do that and they're publishing 50 articles a week. Doing a significant advanced schema is just not feasible. But they didn't take that as, oh, I'm not going to do the advanced schema. They took that as a challenge to figure out how to get that done. And then one of their developers took the Yoast SEO output, created a PHP script that augments it. And essentially, the advanced schema that I know you've seen me do, they've automated 95% of it. So the only part left is to go in and add the entity-based stuff for the that particular page. But it's all automated. The rest of it's automated. My franchisees, great kid that works with me. He's learning coding and all that stuff, and he's playing around. And he took the template that we did for the franchises and actually essentially automated it. So we got to go in there and do a little bit of work, but it's plug and play, form fill, and it's done. So all these people that I hear that complain, oh, I did schema and it didn't work. Well, first you probably didn't do it right. Regardless of whether you watch my training or not, even if you do half of what I tell you, you're going to get some positive results out of it. I've never seen schema knock a page down, but I've always seen it send something up. Even if you're doing it half-assed, it's going to go up a couple positions, right? And so when I hear people say I've done an schema and it never works, I know they're not really done it and thought about it. But I mean, that is what it is. So I'm just tired of that topic. So now I'm moving on. I'm looking forward to I want to do. Remember how I always said I don't want to teach link building. And it's not necessarily I don't want to teach people how to build links on certain platforms, SEO Autopilot, XRumor, GSA, using PBNs, that kind of stuff. What I don't want to give is kind of the secret sauce in regards to how I choose my anchor text stuff. And it's got to be different for everybody. You can analyze other people's anchor text, etc. But at the end of the day, if you plan on making this a long-term career for yourself, you need your own kind of magic formula. Figure that out. And once it starts working, keep your damn mouth shut. Don't give it to anybody, right? So even when I've talked about kind of what I'm doing, it still leaves a lot for people that they got to figure out for themselves. So with that, I'm thinking that I do want to talk more about link building. There's a question in the YouTube about where to get my courses. You can get them at seointel.com. If you want to join SIA, there's a monthly, and then you get all the courses that come with that. Or if you just want to buy the course and I don't care about SIA and you just want the course, just go to whatranks.com. But yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that, and I'm going to take it somewhere else. Like everyone's talking about outreach and PBNs and all of that madness, but I don't see anyone talking about how to use your tools that you're already paying for and getting more out of this. So, for example, the Quora Lite, link building with Quora Lite. There's link building with Quora. There's link building with Quora Diff, Quora Trends, SEO volatility tool. You can link build with the reports that you get out of Page Optimizer Pro. You can update your pages inside of Page Optimizer Pro, export the code and use those on cloud websites for link building. You can use all the cloud tools. We know of one that's coming out here soon. That one's coming. You got Mega Cloud Stacker, Backlink Factory. That's one that I use. I have Ranking Factory V2. I really don't use that one though, because the other stuff's just faster than that one. You know what I mean? So I think I want to do that. Just kind of go through, and these are the various tools you can use. Here's how to use them, like functionally. Here's some thoughts and concepts of what you can come up with on your own. And then probably like pros and cons. I think pros and cons would be good for everybody. Um,
That
you
sounds
know,
cool though, leading people down the path to their own
yeah.
best practices. But
Yeah, I mean, what I think what that would do is gives me the ability to show them um, not only the tools, but to show them that really, at the end of the day, SEO is pretty basic. The on page, the technical, and you do the link building. It's the problem solving comes in when how how to do the on page. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily how title tags, meta descriptions, heading tags. We all know all that shit. And then these days we know pretty much the content editor stuff, but more how can I do kind of like where Lee is at, right? He's using Cora to teach how, and then he's got a couple tricks in there to implement. Um, some people can't do that stuff or don't want to do that stuff or want to do that like times 10. Like I got a test running where I'm trying to rank a web page um, with base 64 code and the page is going to be blank. So I want to see if it works. I think it'd be awesome, right? So, but if I could teach the how and I can teach to hide it, and that base 64 idea is built off an idea that Lee gave me, and he's just using a different language. But I want to try that stuff out, and then pull that into the course on SIA, and ultimately what ranks, and then also build that the most effective methods right into the ClickUp campaign template that we're giving out to SIA members, because I've kind of noticed that everyone's moving to that model of courses now. So you got the blueprint training and authority hacks and the new OMG that Greg Morrison's released. They're all based around not only telling you how to do it, but they're giving templates now. The OMG one's got the template and ClickUp. There's a sprints one from the blueprint with Ryan Dice, not Ryan Stewart. He's got the blueprint and he's got his sprints thing that works really great with their add-ons and their project management system. And then Authority Hacker Pro, they just released their Platinum Pro, and that's got like 100 SOPs in it. I don't know if there's an associated project management system thing. And then Lisa, how do you say her last name?
Hartzell.
Yeah, she's got hers and her 10X agency thing. So I think that's kind of the way ahead for training courses now. It's not so much anymore. Here's how to do it and hold your hand. And it's more kind of here's what we're doing. A, B, C, D, you take ours and run with the campaign if you want to. Here's the associated training that goes with it, or you can modify it in and of yourself and make it better for your needs. So that's what I think where we're going. And the ClickUp now that we have set up for SIA is focused around local, but it can certainly be modified and scaled for national / affiliate stuff too. So I just got to make the videos for that, and then we'll be off to the races.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. Got to write up a new test for SIA. I did a test on Brand Point. I don't know if you know what Brand Point is, but they have it's kind of like a press releasey type of
Oh,
service.
yeah, I've seen there was some talk about it in one of the groups and I checked them out.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of spammy to me, but I mean, not their press releases necessarily, but the process,
Yeah, the process for them is it's not a press release, it's a sponsored post. And they've got access somehow to this network of sites that just allows them to do these sponsored posts kind of thing. And you sent you I paid $4,500 and we got 993 links out of it. Three quarters of them are no index. None of them are interlinked with the rest of the website. I mean, they're all orphan pages. And we put three different websites in there to kind of see what would happen to those three sites. And yeah, that was a big nothing burger. So we got to put that out in SIA, make sure everyone saves their money there. We are going to do a test where the ones that actually did index, and the last time I had my team check was like 75 of them were actually indexed. So we're going to sort through those and see which ones have really good value, and then we'll do some link boosting, send some tiered links up to those, and see if we can get something from those. But they're all like valuable sites, right? They're not like weak ass PBNs or anything by any means. And they all, depending on the metrics you use, I mean, we were filtering by DA, and those were all pretty high, like average of 70 for the sites that they're going on. It's just that the pages, I mean, being orphaned is kind of bad. And I'm not really a big worrier about indexing, but if I'm going to do the time to actually boost those links, then that's a significant time investment. I want them indexed. You know what I mean? Just one layer more of reassurance. So once that's kind of where we're at with that mat release. I tell you right now, if you're a local business, just stay away from it. If you have a significant link building budget and you can drop 5K, then probably worth it to get your referring domains up. As far as Google's concerned, but just understand that most of those links, not even Majestic and Ahrefs, were on them and finding. So know what you're getting in that case. So rambling on. Let's see what else we got. Gregory Gaines, what's the best way to tune for Bing? Um, I will tell you that I've been doing Bing for quite some time, even before it was popular, to release courses on Bing. And I was using the original Quora reports, and there was a tool called Bora. It was the original version that Ted did for analysis of Bing results, and I was doing pretty good. And then beyond that, for backlinking, it was almost like exact match anchors were the ticket. The hard part with Bing was keeping things indexed. I don't know if it's a freshness thing or what, or you have to have a steady bit of backlinks coming in to keep them indexed, but pages drop out of the index and Bing, stupid easy. So right now, Quora, Ted built a feature in there now where it specifically searches for Bing. And typically, following those, it's kind of you can do Bing. A lot of people say Bing is stupid easy and it's easy to rank. That's not entirely true. I mean, it's easier. Your competition is less, but the indexing is. I don't know. People bitch about indexing in Google. Imagine if Bing was popular. Terry could probably attest. Keeping indexed over there is a bitch. Um, so you got to learn that. CTR has some positive effects over there with Bing. But I'll tell you, I ran. I'm sure Terry's done some tests too, but I ran Babylon traffic to over 400 pages, no more than 2 to 3 visitors a day across all those pages. We ran that for 3 months straight, and then we turned it off. And there was no difference pre CTR traffic and post CTR traffic. You know what I mean? So we blew up the elevation, and you think some of that would carry over, and none of that did. Everything, all the natural traffic we were getting before is what we were getting at the end of it. So um,
Yeah.
that was kind of a big turd burger for me.
Yeah, I think Bing favors exact match a little more, but that doesn't mean you're not going to have, that's where the competition is also. The competition
Yeah.
that's there is exact match kind of competition. But yeah, I used to like using that SEO Editor Pro to build sites for Bing, but
Hmm. Yeah. So
you need to put that.
if I was going to focus solely on Bing, I think I would make a whole new domain. So because the rules for Bing and Google are so different. Um, and what Bing wants you to do could potentially get you in trouble with Google, and then vice versa. So like you're optimizing, you do compares with the Bing report versus a Google report and see the differences there, all that stuff, right? So it kind of turns into a big ass guessing game, messing with both of those search engines.
Well, last week I bought 10 new exact match domains just with different extensions. Based on an article, I think it was Search Engine Journal, it talked about whether those redirected domains were transferring juice from their URL.
Yeah.
So I bought 10 of them, less than $2 a piece. Like I said, it was all the other extensions and stuff that were available for the keyword.
Yeah.
And figure if after a couple of weeks I don't see any movement on the target URL, then I'm going to take 5 of them and play with something for Bing and 5 with Google and see if different pages, I mean, they can look the same, but some different stuff in the back end of them can work for one or the other better,
Yeah.
maybe. Since I'll have these 10 domains at my only, I've got them for less than $2 for a year, and I might as well play with them. Whether
What I would do is
see
one
results
thing that I noticed that article missed out on is the backlinks
to those domains.
yeah. And I know you bought fresh ones to kind of keep that test clean. So after you get your initial results, I would pick one and do 5 partial match anchor text backlinks to that exact match domain. And I would bet that you'd get some decent results out of that at that point. 5 to 10 backlinks, but only use 5 variations of partial match. You know what I mean? So it'll be 2 each if you do 10 backlinks. And I bet you'll start seeing something good out of that.
Yeah, maybe so. I got lots of opportunities with those 10 domains all having the same, exactly the same except for the extension. So
yeah. At least you'll get your money back out of it for sure. See, question from JM. Does adding videos to a page move the needle? If so, is embedded YouTube video the best bet? So Google likes YouTube inherently. Duh, it's theirs. And they say they don't suppress the other services, but when's the last time you've seen Daily Motion or Vimeo inside of the search results? So I would use YouTube. And does it move the needle? I think we've got some tests, and it's not like, oh, if I put a video on there, I'm going to be number one if everyone else doesn't have a video, but it does add relevancy to your page. And even more so if in the embed code, you actually add some relevant terms in there. If you guys don't know how to do that, let me know, and one day I'll I'll make a video of adding schema or adding an article to an embed to an iframe. There's plenty of other videos out there too. You can do it, but you can add all that relevance to a video. And then there's an individual video schema that you can do too. And all those things that you can do with the article, like about and mentions, you can do those to video schema. And really,
or use the top ranked video you can find on YouTube.
yeah, if you don't want to take the time. Yep, you don't even have to take time. So, and that's the best way to knock out content. If you're trying to do, like, I think SEO this week, I was doing the news, if you guys remember, and then I'd have to make the video, and then there's a post, and it just sucks the ever loving hell out of you. Like your life is gone after a couple of months. In my case, I did it for like a year straight. So, do like Terry said, you're changing. You're helping a plumber, for example. Go find someone else's general how to unclog a toilet video, and use that if it doesn't have a lot of branding and stuff. I mean, there's only so many ways you can unclog a toilet, so it doesn't have to be unique video content. And just get unique with the schema in there, and that'll help you significantly. Where can you learn advanced schema? Where can we learn advanced schema? I answered this before, but I was quick. So it'd be whatranks.com if you just want the schema course. Or if you want all the courses that I put out, and then the SEO testing, and then the community, you can go to seointel.com. And all my courses that are on What Ranks go into SEO Intel, and they're all made for SEO Intel. So and it's like $99 a month or something. That I forget what the price we had it set now.
Yeah,
Let's see. Like Sour Sop Warrior. How do you hit sour soup? Sour Sop. Just call him Warrior. Do you think that, given the state of the world affairs and the economy, that reaching out to businesses to sell SEO services is still viable? I most certainly do. But, and there's a big ass but here. The emailers, cold emailers, and I say the Indian spammers because they're just the group that is way more prevalent in it even today. Those guys are the ones you got to compete against. And then there are some dudes and guys and gals in the US that are also some shady motherfuckers. And they'll offer SEO to small businesses for like, what is it? I've seen one that's $29 a month. I've seen $149 a month, $229 a month. And nobody's doing a real SEO campaign today for anything less than $1,000. If you see someone charging less than that, they're fivering out some citations, and they're just collecting a check and updating the website once a month. I mean, I just got Jasper. If you think about let's say you do 4 blog posts. Jasper is $99 a month. That's the one that I just paid for with Boss Mood. And then your time to write those 4 articles, about an hour, especially if you don't know the market. So that's an hour each. So there's 4 hours. And you're only charging $149 a month. I mean, you do the math. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's still valuable, but you got to get past that fact. So that there's a lot of cheap ass small business owners that want Lambo SEO for Pinto pricing, and because all of these other people have given them Pinto pricing. On the flip side, they are human nature. We're all just dumb, so we want the cheapest pricing, the best service, and no matter how many times we pay that, well, I won't say no matter how many times. At some point, people smarten up and start paying the real price, but it takes time, so you got to get through that too. So, but SEO services will continue to be viable. When COVID hit and took out Over the Top SEO, that's the agency that I used to work with before, And it wasn't just COVID that took it out, but we still had a really good client base. You know what I mean? But one of our biggest clients left. But at the end of the day, the small businesses were still there, and we didn't have any problems. Save the other issues that took out over the top SEO. But it's back, by the way. Yeah, so we're rebuilding it. Yay! I'm glad. Let's see. Gregory is using Omega Indexer. Yep, I'm still getting really good results with Omega. I hope that continues. They were smart this time. They're not opening it up to everyone, which keeps their affiliates from bragging, which keeps the service working, in my opinion. So when you start telling everyone that the service works, it kind of wrecks things. So I don't think I don't know if they're even open for more people right now. Let's see. Rand, Google check Bing as a factor for ranking. It depends on who you ask. I think that the people who surmise that Google is looking at the browser activity and seeing traffic coming from Bing to a website, to some degree, that does influence the algorithm at Google. How much? I mean, I think we could probably have a discussion for hours on that, right? Again, the site that I sent all that Babylon traffic to in Google, it was marginal, but Babylon was cheap. So the marginal increase that I got at Google because I was running the Bing traffic, kind of worth it to me. But there's other things that were better, right? So on the flip side of that, Bing sends really good informational traffic, not so much business traffic, but if you're like doing informational searches, and you hit it over at Bing, you can get a shit ton of traffic that Google won't send. And then I've seen that traffic boost rankings in Google. So it's hit and miss with that whole theory of, is it checking the traffic? I think the referral traffic does help, but I think it helps from everywhere, not just Bing.
Yeah, I've got no evidence either way that's distinct, but I think it's a matter of how much traffic from Bing to a given domain. If it's above X, whatever that is for that keyword, then it takes it into account. Otherwise, it just doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It could be a few links to some in some keywords, and some it maybe have to be a whole bunch. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, the CTR, I'll tell you that I know Mike Murillo and Brock Misner. Those two are speaking at Rockstars. And knowing what they're doing with CTR and referral traffic to the maps, I mean, that stuff makes total sense to me. Like, they're doing some referral tracks from the citations, from their Yelps, and all that stuff, right? To their map stuff, and that works. So if that works, and you have a Bing listing, for example, why not do some CTR through the Bing to your map? And that might actually give you a little bit of indication, is Google using some of that stuff. If you isolate it, the only traffic to a map that goes to Bing, I think you can get more definitive and say that, at least in regards to the map traffic, you get some value out of it. Now, how do you get them to go to Bing? I would think you probably have to get them to go to Bing, go to like a Yelp, and then go to your map. Probably how that would have to work. Because I don't think, is Bing even indexing map URLs, Google Map URLs?
They have local listings, but
yeah, they get their own citations. I guess you could put your map URL inside of your Bing listing. That'd be kind of interesting. Have to try that one out. I don't know. I spent a week
So,
getting
so one
my
thing you're saying,
maps.
Clint, is we should all be sure and come to SEO Rockstars so we can pick up those tips.
Oh yeah, I would. That's where I come up with my best SEO ideas and where I want to, is going to conferences and talking to people and carrying a notebook around with you. If you don't have a notebook, get a 3x5 deck of cards, stick it in your back pocket. When someone spits something out, step away, write the notes down, and then go back into the conversation. And that's where you're going to get your best test ideas that turn into your most profitable or most effective SEO stuff. That's kind of how I handle that. Let's see. Terry, I like your new bear. Oh, you're a new bear. I like your new bear. I think he means beard, but he says bear.
I hope he means beard. I haven't shown anybody my new bear.
That's creepy. Let's see. What do you think about CTR tools to move the needle? I think that CTR tools will work and do work if you use them in the right way. And I've only, again, Mike Murillo and Brock Misner are the only two that I've seen that consistently use CTR, prove that they're using CTR, and then show the results. And in the way that they do it, their results actually stick, which has always been my number one complaint about CTR. Is one, you can't scale it. So that's my number one complaint, is you can't scale it. And then number two, once you turn it off, everything it's all gone. So what the hell's the use to doing that in the first place? I mean, unless you're going to run it forever. And if you have 100, 300, 500 maps, you're not doing CTR scale. So unless you're buying a whole bunch of servers and all that crap. But the way that Murillo teaches it and Brock Misner talks about it, I mean, I can see that. And I've seen examples of that where it goes and it sticks and they don't have to keep it running. So yeah, that's how I would do it. Let's see. William Brooks, 100% used to work for one. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, maybe he used to work for a CTR software company, or maybe the CTR used to work for him. I don't know.
Or the agency thing. Yeah, let's see. They just build citations and use link tools, edit titles and meta restrictions, call it a day. Yep, that was the agency thing.
That's the $149 SEO.
Yeah. I have a client. I do SEO for him. He's got like 700 sites and a big ass directory as well. For the big ass directory, he's hired two separate agencies, and both of them were paying 5 figures a month. He was paying them 5 figures a month. So Ignite, which no longer works for, and we were totally excited about these people. It was $11,500 a month. They did their management, project management in Monday. Monday was okay. It was an interesting experience. And their idea of SEO was to run the audit from SEMrush, and then they would go through and fix the audit. So you never run an SEMrush audit on things. You end up with a list of like 50,000 things to fix. So that's how they were justifying their $11,000 a month. We're fixing your audit. Look, your audit's improved. Right. And there's no rank boosting whatsoever. I was working on the site by myself when I had it up to 30,000 visitors a month. There's like 180,000 pages on this website, and I added up 30,000 visitors a month. They had it for 3 months and knocked it down to 20,000. He got rid of them and hired another agency. I'm assuming he's paying probably the same, just basically talking to these folks. And they've kind of recovered. So they got it up to 23,000. But they're doing the same damn thing. They run the SEMrush and fix the audit and do the audit, right? They have made some changes to the website in regards to the menu, which I thought was pretty interesting. But for the content, I mean, the content that they're getting is kind of It's not optimized. They're not doing any of that. They're just writing this content and throwing it on the website. And most of it is title tags and meta description changes. And they also told me that the content is duplicate. There's local sites, by the way, we're targeting city keyword. So there is duplicates allowed, right? But they said that the content is duplicate, and the helpful content update is saying that content is bad. So they wanted to use AI to rewrite everything. And I was like, have you not paid attention to anything that everyone's saying? It said, one, nobody got affected by it. And if you say you are the only SEO in the entire SEO sphere that claims that the helpful content update hit anything. And two, everyone who is having issues post those set of core things were complaining that it was their AI content. So not only do you want helpful content, you want us to rewrite it with AI stuff, and that's supposedly going to fix issues. I was like, no, clown, it's not happening. So I've staved off that disaster for a little while, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see, where are we at here? And on RagPrick. Oh, where was I? My point with that was people are ripping off. I don't even necessarily say ripping off businesses, but because if Terry Power wants to pay an agency $11,500 and he's happy with the engagement and the project management, and it looks like things are moving forward, without them looking forward, like they're not looking at what you and I would look at. I would look at rankings and traffic, right? They don't even address rankings and traffic. So if you fall into that and you pay for that and you're happy with that, and that's what you think is great SEO, and then knock yourself out and buy it. And on their part, hey, if you can get $11,000 for that, then go for it. I don't necessarily think that's scamming people. They're providing a service. They said what their service is, and they're reporting on it weekly. Versus another white hat that I know is charging $250 a month. So Terry Power comes to me and says, I want my maps. I want to make sure they're safe. I charge Terry Power $250 to onboard them, meaning you add me as a user to your business profile. And then I charge Terry $75 a month to watch for the email or manually check to see if your listing was suspended or not. And then if it is suspended, I charge Terry Power $500 to $1,000 to get it back. There is a service out there just like that. And the dude kicked me out of a meeting that we were having with him for our agency because I'm the black hat guy. I'm not ripping people off to watch emails, but I'm the black hat guy. So take it what it is. That's your competition.
Yeah, you can sell SEO services, but you do have those kind of people in the market, and you've got to educate your business owner, your client, potential client, about what you're going to do and why that is what they want and need.
Yeah. I also would say that if you want to scale and you want to compete with those types of agencies, you have to kind of play where they're at. It sucks, but if you want to scale, you got to do that kind of stuff. That map gig right there, I would probably do that map gig, but I would offer more for it, right? So $250 to onboard you, meaning bring the map into my business. I'll review everything, get it all up to not the standard of the terms of service, but I'll give it the whatever it needs to do to get the best chance to rank and improve. And then for the $75 a month, I'll do like a post every 7 days. When your post expires, we'll put up a new post for you just to keep the activity of your map alive, right? And then I could sleep at night knowing that I've provided a service, and I watch for the the possible suspension. If it gets suspended, we'll help you get through it. Would I charge you extra? I don't think so, because the monthly, you staying on the monthly 75 retainer over the long run would be more value to me than the single shot of getting the reconsideration request. And the reconsideration requests are so easy now. Google's changed it. All you do is do one and send them a utility bill or your business license. They'll look at it and then email you back saying, "Yep, it's back." Ta-da! You know what I mean? Especially if it's a legit business, you have no problem getting it back. So we gotta, I think we have to adapt. If, like, especially me, I mean, I had the, if I kind of, as a consumer of SEO products, I have this thing, but as a business owner who has employees and bills, then I got this other thing that I need to adapt to, right? So Matt Diggity, he's doing all right. He charges $400 for a keyword clustered report. I mean, if you, those kind of things what people are looking for. So I don't know. I got to get into that stuff, I guess, but just kind of do it in a way that I don't feel like I need a shower at the end of the day. Let's see, Anrag Parik. Quite a few people reported a sudden large drop in traffic rankings around September 28th. Any thoughts on what it may have been? Mostly affiliate sites are reported in Facebook groups. Thoughts? Thank you. I think around that time it was a product review update. I think it was a product review update, and a lot of the affiliate sites. You guys are, us as affiliates, we're kind of stuck in ass right now because Google wants into the affiliate market space. I said it, I don't know, it's been ages now, but Google announced a new featured snippet called the best of featured snippet. So best of drones, best bicycles, best whatever. They're going to make that snippet. And when they announced that, it wasn't long after before the first product reviews update came out. And they've been hitting that ever since. And you can see websites that are broke ass, that are blatantly using descriptions from other websites, all that stuff, all those things that we've been told to do to make it easy, the plugins that are pulling descriptions from Amazon and product names and all that, and then building this great and wonderful site, they're all getting bitch slapped. Because Google has a plan to monetize that. And I think that's why there's so much effort into it. So with that being said, if any of these updates you've been hit, you got to look at on-page optimization, backlinks, and then your content setup. And I put that in that order specifically. Because the on-page optimization you can check real quick with a Cora or Page Optimizer Pro, depending on your SEO skills, and then backlinks. Did you build a site with 300 pages and only 2 of them have backlinks, and you saw a drop in traffic? It's probably your problem. And those 2 are really easy to fix. Versus if you build a site using the plugins and descriptions and all that stuff that I just went over. That takes you way more time to fix, but you can fix the on page and you can fix the backlinks issue pretty quick. So that's where I would look. Let's see, Gregory, 18% of his traffic is in Bing. Pretty good. Google is very volatile, so giving some time to Bing might be wise. Yeah, I think Bing would be wise for everybody, especially if you're doing a lot of informational content. Let's see. Olga's here. Whoop, whoop. SEO, seriously. She's awesome. Oh, look. Hot girl's here from Show Find E&D. Idiot. Let's see. Best way to build backlinks without spending money. What's the best way to build backlinks without spending money? Outreach. Yeah, I think it'd be outreach.
If you're not going to spend money, you're going to spend time. So
Yeah. Depending on outreach, obviously there is money investment there, right? Or potentially could be. But depending on the creativity of your email, you could get backlinks for free. So I have a template that we send out every once in a while that pretty much goes, hey, we know everyone's hitting you up and begging and bugging you, etc., about how awesome your website is. But in truth, I'm just emailing you because I want a backlink. And having that creative approach, every 200 emails, we get 10 free backlinks. It's kind of the average that we're doing. So you can do that. I don't know. There's a cost for us because we use the SEO Power Suite and their link assistant to scrape the list and stuff. But you can certainly do that for free. Reciprocal linking, that's a good free method. Build a page for resources list on your website and then reach out to other people and cross build resources list pages. And then interlink that resource list page to, say, your locations page if you have a local business with multiple places. And that's how you spread that juice around. Resource link building also works if you have a good content team and you can write a skyscraper piece of content or do an infographic or do a guide. And the resource list stuff works for that too. If you were in the health, for example, and you write a guide on getting into getting into ketosis, you can write a ketosis guide and then reach out to a bunch of websites and say that are talking about diet or even the recipe sites, for example, and that kind of stuff, and that they have resources, and you can go in there and say, hey, you want to add my guide to your resource page? That's free. That's a free way to build backlinks. And then there's the ever famous IFTT network. Set one of those up and hook a bunch of web 20s to it and interlink all those things so they get some juice and fire away that way. I mean, I used to rank review pages with just the Triber. I don't know if you ever heard of that, Terry. But you and I would put in our social media accounts into Triber, and every time I wanted to share something, it'd go out to your social media accounts and a couple hundred others. And in return, same thing with my social media accounts. And I was ranking review pages left and right with that. That was back in my network marketing days. Just do like a Mary Kay as a scam page and do some Triber, and I'm number one for Mary Kay scam. Done. Don't do that, by the way. They will send lawyers hunting you down because Mary Kay is trademark. They take that shit personal. Let's see. Going back to your point with businesses, it's pretty much the homepage, service page, and city pages. How do you approach this with content info sites? Or what? Oh, building links. Every piece of content that you write, depending on the model of how you're approaching your business, should be promoted. So you should build backlinks to every piece of that content. Ted Kabitis did a talk during one of the early SEO fight clubs where he was sending in his e-commerce store, he was sending 25 backlinks to every product that was ever published. And he had a whole system made up, and once a new product went in, the PHP would get notified, and that PHP would create the 25 backlinks for him. And I've been using that 25 rule ever since, and it's been a couple of years now, I think. So that's how I handle it. And where we buy content from Empire Express writers, and it's $450 for a stupidly well-researched article with the citations, and they give us title tag, meta description, and the header images and all that stuff. It's $450 for each one. So damn sure we're promoting those and making articles and doing backlinks for them, right? But totally worth it, because every time I give them an example article in the primary keyword we're going after, and they come back with this gold that ranks damn near instantly. We don't even have to optimize it. So worth it. If you're following the Craig Campbell affiliate sites model, he's, as I understand it, I haven't gotten this from him personally, it's kind of secondhand information, but he's like, say you're building a affiliate website about drones, he'll do 100 articles about drones and then watch and see which ones hit off, and then he promotes those. So you can do that model as well, whatever works for you. But at the end of the day, I let money drive us. We're not going to buy $450 articles and not promote them. But if the articles were $5, then what do we care? We just spitball until we hit some home runs and then go do those. So both models work pretty well. Let's see. To all posts in varying number based on importance, difficulty, rankings, potential revenue. Yeah, that's, I don't know how you handle that, Terry, but the Craig Campbell model, as I explained to me, that makes good sense to me. I don't know the market. I want to, I can't, or I don't want to invest in PPC using the PPC keyword research method that Derek Booth has taught. If you want to hear and see that method, I've been using that for, I think he first taught it in 2018, and he's revamping it and made a tool for it. You can learn about that at SEO Rockstars. See SEOrockstars.com. If you don't want to do that, the Craig Campbell method makes the most sense to me.
A couple of years ago at Rockstars, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, the Polish guy. He talked about, he was doing that with AI. He'd have AI write 50 articles, see which ones ranked really well, and then tune those human writer to tune those up a little more, and just scrap and rewrite the others, and keep going from there. So it's a simple A/B testing, basically. Find what works, do more of that, let the other one go to the side, and keep scaling that way.
Yeah, Phrase has their rewriter now, and technically you don't even need to. You can just find sites, like you want to go into a new market, find the sites that are in there, go look at SEMrush and look at their informational content that's ranking for keywords. Go to that site, take the informational content that's ranking for the keywords, drop it in Phrase, AI rewriter, hit go, get new stuff, reread it to make sure that AI is not making you look like a retard, and then post it up and see how it does. See if it matches the results that everyone else got. I mean,
it not only it paraphrases the whatever article or whatever info you put into it, plus it checks it against Copyscape at the same time.
Yeah.
So, like you say, you want to read to make sure they're not using.
I don't even worry about Copyscape. Yeah, but you just don't want to. Read it to make sure it makes sense, and then also read it to make sure it's not rewriting or didn't insert that original. It's like enough originality in that version, so you're blatantly ripping off other people's stuff. There's nothing wrong with using AI rewriter to do that kind of stuff, because you're going to go in and add your own voice and review it. Instead of spending an hour to write an article, you spend 15 minutes. No big deal. Another way to pull that off, if you don't want to use the AI thing, you can use a dictator, like a Dragon Dictate. For Mac, I don't know the popular. They have one for Windows too. Go do your research, open the article, open Word, and just kind of read the article and then summarize it in your own words to your dictator, and it'll write your whole article out.
Yeah, like I use Windows, and Dragon Naturally Speaking is
there you go,
a Windows program.
And that works too for you. And if you got an audio guy who can just kind of cut and paste all the ums and ahs and shit out of there, you can turn that into a podcast while you're doing the recording for the or while you're doing the drag and dictate. So I have a Roadcaster. I can push record on it. Right now, if I wanted to, we can have this conversation and I can make like 30-second audio vignettes. You know what I mean? Just record it and cut out all the crap. So you can do that, run and drag and dictate at the same time. And that works. All righty. So SEO this week, folks. Thank you for joining us. I hope you appreciate the conversation. Some great topics. Again, SEO Rockstars Dallas. VIP day is on the 9th, and then the conference is 10th, 11th, and 12th. VIP day, Dory is planning on taking us to, well, we're going to have a mastermind meeting in the beginning. And hopefully that doesn't involve that damn name game that she likes. So, and then we're going to go shooting, and then we're going to eat. We're going to go to Top Golf for golf, and she usually gets good food and drink there. And then there's going to be a, I want to say it's like a little party thing, get together at the hotel, because there's a bar inside of the hotel too. And at the bar in the hotel, there's complimentary stuff in the evenings. Complimentary night thing is what it's called, or something like that. So that's the November 9th, and then the conference is 10th, 11th, and 12th. The speakers are actually pretty decent. Bill Hartster, Dixon Jones, looking forward to talking to him. I've talked to him on the internet. I look forward to seeing him in person. Marty Marion, I'm looking forward to seeing him again. Danny Rios, he's coming from the agency. I forget the name of it, but Lily Ray's agency, Steady Media, I think it is. Lily couldn't make it, so Danny's coming in her stead. That's awesome. Chris Labatt's going to be there. He's good on entity stuff. Derek Booth has got PPC stuff. Just as I said, he's got some new stuff. It's using PPC to do keyword research. Stupid smart and works damn near every time. But he made some software, and he's actually running a test on one of my client sites, and he's going to talk about the results for that at Rockstars. Jesper's coming to talk about cloud stuff.
Jesper's one of those super smart too.
Yeah, too smart for his own good, I think. But he's coming. He's
that doesn't mean he's an ideal businessman necessarily.
Yeah,
I'm interested in seeing what he's going to say, given the changes since he was announced as a speaker, as far as going on in all the world of all that software now that posts to clouds automatically and stuff.
Yeah, he's got a lot of competition, for sure. And he's actually smart, because this is the first time he's ever come to the U.S. to speak. He's bringing his wife, who's never been to the U.S. I think Jesper's never been to the U.S. So he's going to do he's going to speak at Dallas, and then I guess he also plans on going to Los Angeles afterwards, and he's going to host a mastermind for $750. But there's nothing to say you can't get Jesper drunk and get your $750 of value at the bar. So that's what I'm saying. Lisa Diddy's going to be there. I think everyone's going to love Lisa. She's fun as hell. She's funny. She's awesome. She's also a Dallas native. So if you want to come to Rockstars and then meet a Dallas native and maybe get a tour of Dallas outside of the touristy stuff or stuck at the thing, then Lisa Diddy would be there. Nick Jordan, he's coming. He runs a content provider, and he has another service called Workello. Not entirely sure about Workello, what that is, but I like the business stuff that he's doing with the content provider stuff, which is awesome. Let's see, Barry Rollap's coming. Oh yeah, and then that guy Craig Campbell. Craig Campbell's gonna be there. That guy. And his sidekick Chris Palmer. We brought them both. So that's gonna be it. That's going to be rock star. So I hope to see you all there. Thank you for joining us in SEO this week, episode number 10. See you guys next week.